welcome and thank you for joining me. I've got session 2 of our chakra flow. So today we are focusing on the sacral chakra, the SWADHISTHANA chakra. That one is always a little bit tricky for me to say, so I am going to say sacral throughout this flow. So our sacral chakra is our center of creativity, of joy, of kind of like childlike almost energy, and it's associated with the element of water, so it's really free flowing, and when we're in balance with our sacral chakra, we approach change and difficulties a lot more easily. We're kind of feeling into that energy of flowing, moving with life, and just kind of like how children do, just going with it and just finding the joy and the energy in every moment. So our sacral chakra is located just below our navel. So for any women, it's your in your womb area. So it's also associated with our feelings of sensuality and sexuality, of pleasure and things like that. So it's a really nice chakra to work with, actually. And so I would just like you to start to bring your attention down to this space below your navel, and just feel into any emotions, any thoughts. A lot of us may have difficult relationships with this area of our body, so just start to notice anything that's coming up. We are going to be working with mudras again today, and with a little affirmation as we flow. So bringing that attention down below the navel, and just starting with our feet about hip width, or just a little bit wider than hip width apart on the mat. We're going to start standing today, and throughout the flow of today I just want to invite you to find your own movement. We're going to be holding some stretches, but we are going to kind of feel into those and keep moving, rather than finding that grounding energy that we had in the last flow and being more still and stable. This one's all about moving and going. So coming to stand, feet just wider than hip width apart, picking up the toes and seeing if you can place each one down individually, and then maybe rocking from side to side. Maybe you bring your hands onto that sacral area, that sacred area of creativity, of joy, of movement, and coming to close down the eyes or soften the gaze. Rocking the hips from side to side, maybe bending one knee and then the other, and starting to slow the breath. And as you breathe, I want you to feel into the fluidity of breath. So noticing as your inhalation turns seamlessly into exhalation. And see if you can just breathe through the nose here, closing the mouth but keeping the jaw soft, keeping with that movement, feeling into the low belly, rocking the hips from side to side, maybe bringing in a little bit of a hip sway, a hip circle. It's this area of sensuality, so maybe you take a little goofy movement of rolling the shoulders, sticking out the bum, really feel into anything that your body's craving. Just closing down the eyes, no one is watching you. You're free to move with ease and in your own way. And as you move within the body, start to imagine an orange orb. So the colour orange is associated with our sacral chakra. And our chakras are these energy centres, these wheels that keep turning the energy around our bodies. What we're doing in our flow through today is feeding that energy, feeding the turning of our sacral chakra. So imagining that orange orb pulsing, rotating, spinning faster and faster as you move with ease in your own way, maybe bringing the arms into it, reaching up overhead, We're going to take a few moments of free movement here, so really moving in any way. You are not the one on video. You are in your own space, you are safe, creating your own flow. Maybe stretching the arms overhead, rolling the neck, fit into what your body needs, maybe taking the feet a little bit wider, and keeping that fluid breath. And if you're really feeling into more stillness, feel free to take that. You can just stand with the legs slightly wider than hip width and just keep that focus on the moving orange orb. Coming into stillness, everyone now. Walk back if you've moved to feet just slightly wider than hip width. We're going to keep them here, keeping the eyes closed, rocking the hips back into stillness in your own time and in your own way. We're going to take our sacral mudra here, so you might want to open the eyes. You're going to tuck the thumb in towards the palm and close the two peace fingers, so your index and middle finger around the thumb, keeping the ring finger and pinky finger out. You'll bring the base of the palms together, bring the fingers together, so the tips of your ring finger are going to touch, but your pinky is going to stay out. Holding this at your center point, roll the shoulders and allow the breath to soften, the gaze to soften back down, maybe closing the eyes. Bring your attention back into the breath, back into that sacred, sacral place just below the navel. Maybe imagining that orange ball once again. Lifting tall through the crown of the head, take a breath in. Bending the knees softly, we'll send the arms up to the sky. As you exhale, sweep the arms out to the side, release the mudra and lower all the way into a forward fold. Inhale, find your mudra again as you lift up. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, sweep down, release the mudra. Inhale, lift through. Find that mudra again at your heart center. Take a breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release the mudra, forward fold. Inhale, come through, find your mudra again. Take a breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Staying folded here. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, melt the chest towards the thigh in your forward fold. Rocking the hips from side to side here. Maybe you want to heel toe the feet out a little bit wider. Come into a wide legged forward fold. Bending the knees if you need to. Bringing the palms towards the earth. Keeping the core engaged as your navel tucks in towards the spine. Bringing the right hand now in between the legs. And inhaling, sweeping the left arm up, find a twist. So we're twisting from this center point. Your shoulders not coming up towards the ears, you're really reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. Inhale in here, exhale, left hand comes to the mat. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, find that twist, lengthening through the spine as you peel chest towards ceiling. Inhale in here, exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale to the left, find length, exhale, left hand comes down. Inhale to the right, find length through the spine, reach those fingertips. Exhaling, right hand comes down. You're going to walk both hands over towards the right foot. Inhale in, come up onto the fingertips and just find some length through the spine. Exhale, pivot on that right foot. So the right foot's coming to face forward on the mat. And then heel toe the right foot out ever so slightly to the outside edge of the mat. Come onto the palms and then pivot on the left foot. So we're finding our lizard. Moving into the hips here, so we're staying lifted. Just find some fluidity in this stretch. So keeping the spine long, keeping the heel pushing back towards the back of the room, maybe bouncing here, rocking from side to side, really feel into that stretch through the right side hip. And then inhaling in, lifting the right arm all the way up. So reaching those fingertips up, shoulder tucks in. Find length here. And then you're going to pivot onto the back edge or the outside edge of the left foot. So left toes come off. And we'll lower the left hip down. Finding our revolved Skandasana. Maybe you need to peel the sole of the right foot up just to give you a little bit more lift here. And then your right arm is going to lift towards or straighten towards the back edge of the mat. So we're really working here. Our hips are sinking down, but we're stretching through the mid-body. Inhaling, sweep the right arm all the way up overhead. Come to plant that palm down. Find length as you heel toe the right foot in, lowering the left knee onto the mat, uncurling the toes of the left foot, keeping that lift. As you exhale, send the hips back, walk the hands all the way back, so we're staying lifted in our Hanuman here. Inhaling, find length through the spine. Exhale, undulate, bring your chest towards your thigh. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Find some movement here, some fluidity. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, coming onto the sole of that right foot. We're keeping the right leg extended, so we're not bending that knee. And we're going to walk with the right hand all the way over to the left side. We're going to pivot on that left foot, or that left knee. So the left knee is coming parallel on the mat. We're going to walk the left hand all the way to the back edge of the mat. So we're finding a gait variation. Toes of the right foot are still facing forward. And then we'll inhale, sweep the right arm all the way up overhead. Peel the hips up towards the ceiling. So you should feel as though you're lifting through the hips, really engaging through your navel, drawing that belly in and up. Stay here, or maybe you lift that right foot off, coming into a half moon variation, flexing the sole of the right foot. 2 more breaths here. Keeping the neck nice and long. So I noticed my ear was dipping to my shoulder there. See if you can straighten the neck. Imagine your crown being pulled forward as you kick away with that right foot. And then exhale, lower the foot down, lower the right hand down, and walk the hands all the way back through, maybe extending through those arms and just finding a nice little stretch. Really working with what feels good in your body as you come into a low lunge. Find length through the spine. Exhale, planting the palms on the outside or either side of the foot. Curl under the toes of the left foot. Power up through that back leg. Inhaling, keep that length. And then exhale, pushing back on the left foot. See if you can lift all the way up into a half split. So bending softly through the right leg. Chest comes towards thigh. As your left foot peels up towards the ceiling, it's not about how high you go here. We're just creating space in the lower body. One more breath, and then exhale, bring the left foot back to earth. Come into a 45-degree angle with the left foot, and then straightening the right leg. We're going to open out into triangle. So left fingertips are coming up towards the ceiling. Right hand is relaxed against the right leg. Peeling the left hip up, opening space through the spine. Neck's nice and long as your core engages. So opening, feeling that stretch through the left hip. Two more breaths here. And then exhale, plant the left palm down. Pivot on the right foot. Come back into that forward fold. Inhaling, find that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take a moment here. Allow the neck to be heavy. Inhaling, find that halfway lift. And then exhale, walk the hands over towards the left side. Find a stretch here, maybe pushing that right hip up towards the sky, straightening through the back. And then pivoting on the left foot. So the left foot is facing towards the front of the mat. Lower down into your lizard here. So again, we're staying high on our left side lizard. Opening through that hip, finding movement as you push the right heel back towards the wall behind you. Feel into that fluidity in all areas of your body. So although this is a hip opener, see if you can move in the upper body, swaying from side to side, drawing circles, maybe bouncing through the leg. Feel into what works for you here. And then inhaling, come into stillness. Take a breath, inhaling, ground into the left palm. Inhaling, come into stillness. And then exhale, ground through the right palm. Inhaling, sweep the left arm all the way up overhead. Find length here as the fingertips reach towards the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears, neck's nice and long. Maybe your gaze comes up. Take a breath and then lower down onto the outside edge of the right hip. Maybe your left sole, the sole of your left foot opens up as well, so it's coming off the mat, and then we're reaching the right fingertips all the way towards the right side of the room, lengthening through the spine here, really engaged. Feel into that stretch, and then inhale, sweep the right arm or the left arm inhaling, sweep the left arm all the way up and over, heel toe the left foot in, lower onto the right knee. Inhale and find length, and then exhale, send the hips back. Ardha Hanuman, our half split, walking the hands in and peeling the toes up towards the ceiling. Find that length. Imagine your shoulder blades squeezing together and traveling down your spine. And then exhale, melt chest to thigh. Inhale in, find length. Exhale, chest to thigh, finding this wave of movement. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, folding. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stay in your fold just for 2 breaths. And then flattening that left sole of the foot down onto the mat. Inhaling, find that length again. Pivot on the right knee. Open out into your gate variation. So planting that right palm down. Inhaling, sweeping the left arm all the way up overhead. Lengthening through that neck. So imagine that your ear is kind of pushing up towards the ceiling. So it's not kind of tilting, but we're staying long and strong. Fingertips reach towards the ceiling and then peel those hips up. See what happens if you push the pelvis forward and then lift that left hip towards the ceiling. Navel draws in here. And then see if you want to, if you can ground into the right palm and lift the left leg up. Pushing the right leg into the mat. Keep lengthening here. Engage the core, flexing through the left foot. Inhale in, exhale, lower the left foot down. Sweep the left arm all the way around. Keep that length maybe extending through the spine as you walk the left hand and the right hand all the way back to frame your foot. Come down into a low lunge. Find some length here. Stretching into that right side hip. We're really nice and juicy here. Maybe swaying from side to side. Keeping the length as you curl onto the toes of the right foot, coming to a high lunge, planting the palms and stepping it up, finding that half split, maybe walking the hands slightly further in front of you. See if that helps you to bring the right foot closer towards the ceiling. Inhaling in, engaging through your core. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, lift a little higher, and then exhale, bring that right foot back to a 45-degree angle. Send the hips back as you open out into your triangle. Peeling right hip up towards the ceiling, right palm pulling up here, opening those hips, opening through the shoulders. So we're really working to bring our chest towards the ceiling here as well. Whole body engages in our triangle, our Trikonasana. Exhale, plant the palms, release your triangle and heel toe back into that forward fold. Inhale and find length. Exhale to fold, forehead comes towards the earth. Maybe you want to walk out a little wider, feel into what your body needs. Maybe you walk the palms back in line with the heels. Feel into that stretch being created as your tailbone peels up towards the ceiling. And then maybe finding some movement, bending one knee and then the other, one knee and then the other. So just really feeling into it, moving in the shoulders into it maybe. Finding what works for you. Focusing in on that breath, bringing that Ujjayi breath in if it's in your practice. And then coming into stillness with the next exhalation. Inhale in and halfway lift. You're going to pivot on the right foot. So your right foot's coming into a 45-degree angle. And then you're going to walk the hands over. Come down into your Skandasana. So the right hand's going to reach the outside edge of the mat. Elbows coming in towards the right knee. Toes of the left foot come up. Inhale in, sweep the left arm up, opening up, Skandasana, sinking the hips down. exhale, planting the left hand down and walking all the way over to find Skandasana. On the left hand side, so left palm reaches out to the left side, sinking the hips down as you inhale, sweep the right arm up. And not only opening through the hips, but opening through the chest, engaging that core. Feel into that sacral space. Feel it opening and evolving. Exhale, right hand's going to come down. We're going to walk back into that forward fold and then heel toe the feet in so they're in line and just slightly wider than hip width. We're going to come down into our goddess. So turning the toes out to the outside of the mat, heels turn inwards, lowering the hips down. Bring your hands into the SWADHISTHANA, the sacral mudra, as you lower through the hips, lift the chest. Maybe find a bounce here. The hips are working so hard. We're almost done. We're coming down. 2 more breaths. Exhale, release the palms down, straighten the legs. And then heel toe the feet in. Really good job. Inhale and find a halfway lift, straighten through the spine as you tuck the elbows in. And then exhale, fold, hands come to the mat. Inhale and sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Inhaling, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, and then lift up onto the tiptoes. Bring the hands back into your sacral mudra. Staying up on the toes as you send the bottom down. Coming into a squat. If you wobble, shake, fall, it's okay if you need to use your hands. Lowering the bottom almost to touch the heels, coming into a toe squat, keeping the core engaged, navel tucking in, spine's nice and long. Holding in our toe squat for just a few breaths, straightening through the spine as the crown of the head draws up towards the ceiling. And allowing the mudra of our hands with this sacral mudra to channel energy towards our sacral chakra just below our navel. Feel into the connection between your mudra and the sacral chakra. And then exhaling, bringing the hands down onto the mat. We're going to walk the hands around, bring the bottom down, and send the legs out long. From here, we're going to keep the soles of the feet onto the earth. Find length through your spine as you inhale, bringing your hands softly onto the outside edges of the thighs. Keeping length here and tucking your navel in, and imagine that you're curling your tailbone under. And we'll start curling so much so that we start to lower the hips down. So you're imagining your hips are peeling back towards the mat. The spine starts to follow as you slowly lower down. Imagine your tailbone kind of scooping under, navel draws in, lengthening each vertebrae as you come down onto the mat. So there's no tension in the neck or jaw or in the shoulders. We're just allowing the arms to travel down the thighs as your low back comes to the earth, mid back comes to the earth, and your shoulders relax onto the earth, keeping that belly engagement as you lower the whole way down. Planting the palms, walking the shoulder blades underneath you, keeping length in the spine. And notice as you've relaxed, if your tailbone started to lift and you've got an arch in the back. So we want a nice flat space so I can't get my hand under my low back, palms press in. And then we're just going to lift one leg into a 90-degree angle and the other leg to a 90-degree angle, keeping the core engaged here. Take a breath in and exhale. Take a breath in and exhale. And we're just going to straighten the right leg out, keeping the low back pressing into the earth. Point the toes, keeping strong through the core. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, send the left leg out. Maybe lower it a little further. Exhale, tuck it back in. Inhale, right leg extends, maybe you lower. Exhale, draw back in. Inhale, left leg, maybe lower. Exhale, draw in. 2 more times each side. Inhale, right leg, lower. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lower. Exhale, draw it back in. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, lower, hold. Inhale, draw it back in. Exhale, reset. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lower and hold. Inhale, draw back in. Exhale, tuck the knees in. Lift the chin to the chest, nose to knees. Curl everything up in a nice ball. Maybe rocking from side to side. And the hands behind the backs of the thighs, we're going to start to roll up through the spine. So tucking that chin in, protecting the neck, just finding some momentum to rock backwards and forwards on the spine. Massaging through the length of the spine here. Find your own momentum, your own movement, walking backwards and forwards. Maybe coming up into a balance. And then sending the weight back. Feel the mouth engage, find a little smile as you just take a few moments to roll and be silly, to release the practice. And to release any seriousness from your day. This is yoga practice, yoga play, with feeling into our bodies. There's no expectations, no limitations, just movement in your body. And then rolling all the way up into the seated position, or making your way into seated. We're going to plant the palms and bring ourselves into a plank pose. So if, like me, you've rolled to the top of your mat, just walk yourself into plank, planting the palms. You can take a half plank here if you need to, or lifting all the way up into a full plank, sending the heels back towards the back of the mat, crown reaches long, and imagine pushing up towards the ceiling with the back of the neck. Inhale in here and just tilt the weight forwards. Exhale, lower the knees, lower the chest, come all the way down onto the belly. Take a shake through those hips. And we're going to be walking the legs out, bring the hands down onto the mat. And we're just going to inhale, bring the right foot in towards the glute. Maybe your right hand comes to the right foot and you just draw the foot in towards the glute. Stay here, or maybe lift through the chest and open out towards the right hand side, finding a twist. If you found just a small twist, keep the hips pressing down into the mat. Just stretching through the quads. And then exhaling, unfurling, bringing the right leg down, releasing the right arm. Inhaling, bring the left leg in, and maybe helping that stretch just to deepen, maybe opening through the chest, Pressing the right palm into the earth, pressing the left hip into the earth. Just feeling into this space for 2 breaths. And then exhale, lower the chest down. Bring the right foot back in and bring the right hand back to the foot. Bending the elbows if you need to, bring both legs in and maybe rock from side to side. So you can stay here if you're feeling more into a stretch, or if you want to bring some strength into it, hands around the foot or around the ankle and flexing the feet, but then just zip the legs together. Inhaling, lift the chest. And exhale, staying lifted, engaging through the core, so there's little to no stretch or pain or any sensation in the low back. Start to lift the legs, come up into bow. So lifting the knees as you squeeze them together, flexing through the feet, lifting the chest, maybe rocking backwards and forwards on the hips. One more breath in here, and then exhale, lower the legs, lower the chest, walk the legs out as wide as the mat, release the palms, and then just shake out through those hips, coming on to one of the cheeks and just resting for a moment here. And then inhaling, bringing the legs to zip together, just squeezing the thighs. Again, tucking that tailbone under so the pelvis presses into the mat. Palms press into the earth. And maybe you can keep your chin lowered here, so just chin on the mat. Or if that's not comfortable for you, keeping a straight neck. So imagining again that you're pushing up towards the ceiling with the back of the head. And just lift the chin off. Pressing into the palms, inhaling, lift the right legs, keeping it straight and lifted, pointing through the toes, and imagine that your foot is being pulled away from you, your head's being pulled forward, so lengthening out here. Staying lifted, exhale, lower the right leg, inhale in, exhale, lift the left leg, squeezing that glute, pointing the toes. Core's really engaged here, see if you can lift a little higher. If you've got any pinching in the low back, lower that leg down. Exhale, lower the left leg. You can either inhale and lift one leg at a time, or see if you can lift both legs together as you inhale. Exhale, lift both legs, press the palms, lengthen through the spine. Lifting for 5, for 4, see if you can lift a little higher, for 2, for 1, exhale, legs to the earth, walk the feet as wide as the mat, and shimmy those hips, release the palms, bring them underneath the head, and just melt maybe the forehead or the cheek down to the earth, keep rocking out through those hips. Bringing the weight back into the palms as you draw them under the shoulders. Lift up into a cobra, lengthen, extend through the spine, keeping the legs wide. And then exhale, peel the bottom back, send the toes together and come into a wide leg child's pose. So if after all that hip work, a narrow leg child's pose is better for you, take that, take what you need to here. Forehead melts towards the mat. So just take a moment to recoup, recalibrate, softening here as we slow down our flow. Sucking the chin in towards the chest. Start to peel up through the spine. Bringing the hands in. Coming up all the way into a kneeling position. Untucking the chin, drawing one knee in and then the other if they weren't already together. Opening up the eyes. We're trying to find some movement through the upper body here. So as you inhaling, you lift up, lifting the arms up. Exhale, reach the arms back behind you, lower the bottom down. Inhale, reach up, open through the arms. Exhale, bottom down. 2 more. Inhale, reach up, lengthen through the upper body. Exhale, bring the bottom down. Inhale and reach up. And exhale, sweep the arms down, bring the bottom to the heels. And then bringing your hands to the mat, you're just going to bring your legs to one side. Bottom comes down onto the earth, sending the legs out long. And then bringing those hands behind the backs of the knees again. And we're finding that roll down movement again. So keeping the length in the spine. And tucking the tailbone under so much so that the hips start to peel back. The low back starts to flatten towards the earth. Hands release from the thighs as vertebrae by vertebrae. You relax down into the mat. Low back comes to the earth. Shoulders soften. Mid back comes to the earth. Upper back relaxes to the mat. You release the shoulders down, head comes to earth. Press the low back into the mat and plant the palms, walking both feet in just ever so slightly. So you want your knees to be in line with your hips. Tucking that tailbone under, drawing your navel in towards the spine. You're going to take some bridge lifts here, so engaging through that core, zipping up through your center line, grounding into the feet. Inhale in, lift the hips at the top of your inhale. Exhale and lower. So you want to find that fluidity of your breath. So as you inhale, you lift and seamlessly lower as your inhalation turns to exhalation. See if you can slow down the breath, slow down the movement. Now that you've got it, you can close down the eyes and just finish this wave of the breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. 3 more. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Low back, sacrum presses into the earth as you draw the knees in. Give yourself a nice big hug, rocking from side to side. And then just allow the knees to drop over towards the left side as you walk the hands out into cactus or out into a T. Whatever's comfortable for you here. Opening through the side body, releasing through the low back. Breathe into the right side ribs, feel them expand. And as you exhale, allow them to soften, deepening into the twist. Slowing everything down now, recalibrating, recouping, feeling that twist through the low belly. And then just bringing your awareness, your intention back to that low breath, that low space just below the navel of your sacral chakra. Inhaling, draw the knees in, And then exhale, melt them over towards the right side, maybe picking up the hips, finding a little bit of space here. You can use your hand on the top of the outside knee to help you deepen into the twist, and your gaze goes to the opposite direction of the knees. Breathing into the left ribs, feel them expand as you inhale. Allow them to soften as you exhale. Breathing into the space that's been created through your practice. Releasing the hands, bringing the knees back in. Give yourself one big final hug, squeeze everything in and up, maybe wiggling on the mat if you need to a little. And if there's any other position that you'd like to take that your body's calling for, please take it, or start to walk yourself out into a Shavasana with the legs extending to either side of the mat. Turn the toes out and allow the hips to soften, tucking the tailbone under, lengthening through the spine. And once you've found your comfortable Shavasana, close down the eyes and draw the attention inwards. So often we're tempted to skip a Shavasana, to rush off the mat, to go about our day, especially with an energizing practice like today. So we've cultivated all these energies. What's really important is that we start to focus them in, start to draw them back down, and to send them where we need them. So today we've been focusing on our sacral chakra, this area of joy, sensuality, playfulness, of fluid movement, of moving in ease. And really what we want to do is to settle our attention and our intention there. And quite often when we think of creative energy, we think of things that we do or make, or maybe think of painting or drawing. But really we are creative beings. We are creating energy, we're creating love, we're creating compassion. Every day we are creating life within ourselves. And that's what I want you to just bring your attention into today. So not on a physical representation of your creativity, but an emotional representation of your creativity. And with our practice today, we have cultivated your ability to create whatever you need, and you have the ability to consciously create what you want in life. So by creating more love, we experience more love. By creating more motivation, we experience more motivation, and so on and so on. So as we stay in our Shavasana just for a few more breaths, I ask you to complete the sentence, I am creating. So completing that sentence with whatever it is that you want to create, you want to cultivate in your life. And then repeating to yourself, I am creating. I am creating. I am creating. And bringing your mind's eye back to that orange orb of your sacral chakra, seeing it grow and spin and move with the energies of your practice. Feel into this space and into the energy that you have created, and start to direct it towards what you want to create. Direct the energy of your sacral chakra to what you want to create, and allow it to be, accept it to be. So we're not judging or doubting here. We are allowing and accepting and empowering our own creativity. I am creating. I am creating. I am creating. You can stay here in your Shavasana. I recommend that you do so. Whenever you're ready, wiggling the toes, rocking the hips, stretching through the arms, just finding some movement again, softly, slowly, keeping the eyes closed, and then rolling onto one side before working your way up into a comfortable seated position of your choice. We'll inhale in, sweep the arms up overhead. As you exhale, find your mudra again. Inhaling, create that space, that lift. Picturing that sacral chakra turning. Empowering your creativity and taking it off of the mat and into the world. And we'll take 2 releasing breaths together. So inhale in, exhale, sigh, release. Inhale, exhale, sigh, release. Inhale in, open the eyes. Namaste. I hope that you enjoyed that flow. You're feeling re-energized, creative, and just giving yourself a little bit of love for showing up today. And actually this flow will be going up live just after the full moon in Gemini. So with a new moon in Gemini. So with the new moon in Gemini, we're able to set new intentions, create what we want in the world. And with Gemini, it's a sign of communication, of talking. I'm a Gemini, and for those that know me personally, they will know that I love to chat. So the more you talk about what you want to create and what you want to arrive in the world and how you want to be, the more you'll be able to draw it in towards you. So that's just a little bit of new moon energy guidance for you. But I hope to see you all again soon. We'll be working with our solar plexus during our next flow. Thank you and have a lovely week.